My girls hold me down, them boys mess around. My love life is a mess. We're going out tonight because I'm looking for love. That's right, y'all. It's your girl Barbie J here, and we are talking about Tyler Perry's dramedy, Sisters, Season 4, Episode 7. Moving on up. Well, we're moving on up to the penthouse, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. That's right. And this whole episode was really about that penthouse and everything. The only other thing was what? The basketball court. So this was an interesting episode. Oh no, we did do a minute or two in Zach's place. But besides that, this was a pretty straightforward episode. It was interesting, the conversations that were being had. But, honey, with me being a real estate agent, I was loving the view of that penthouse apartment and enjoying Sabrina and Danny running through that place. And then I just felt, I could feel when Andi finally got up there and was crying. I know she had to be crying because it was beautiful. But before we get into any more of this, if you have not subscribed to my channel as of yet, please take a moment before I do this recap to subscribe to my channel, which is June BLC, and then hit the notification bell that'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. And when you hit that notification bell, make sure you select all so to let you know about everything. Then I ask for you to smash that like button, write a comment, and then share the video. Can we do that for me for this year? Subscribe, comment, like, and share. All right? So now that we're done with that part, let's get into this recap. So it starts off with Andi freaking out. She's running through her apartment. She's looking in the kitchen cabinet. She running in the bathroom. She running in the closet. She touching the walls. I said the first place I would have went was the bedroom closet. I'm like when she talking about where's my stuff, my things, my clothes and my shoes will probably be the first thing I'm running for anyway. She was going through. She's like, oh my God. She calls downstairs and she finds out from the what is it, the doorman or whoever, the concierge, that it's the who is it, the super had it move, and the super found out from the building manager, and she's like, well, have him come to my house, okay, because she was like, she was going to call him, but he's like, he's right on your floor. And that man came in, Mr. Robinson, and he's like, oh, you got such a great deal on this apartment, and we, you know, you it was like a steal. And she's like, really? She started like, I got a steal. And then the next thing you know, he's telling her she could get a great, deal on selling her apartment. And she's like, oh, I can. So she's like listening now, but still in her mind it's like, how did he do that? Well, the building manager leaves after they talk because he just needs her to sign papers. And she said, I'll get back to you. I'll do it later. The doorman calls upstairs and said, Mr. Borders is here. I said, uh-oh, because it started hitting her, what was going on. She said, yeah, send that fool up. So she's upset and she's getting on his case. And do you think this is going to work? It's not going to work. He's like, you trying to buy me? He's like, no. She's like, yes, you are, because but you do like things. And he's like, I love you. She's like, that's not going to work this time. And she started bringing up the past and all the stuff that he's done to her. And he's like, why are you going to do this when I'm trying to help you? She said, help you? He's like, yeah. She's like, no, if I'm treating you a certain way, it's because of what you put me through all these years before, all the time we've been together. And he's like, okay, that's fair and stuff. And then she said she's got a good thing going with Robin. And he was like, Gary's like, don't do that. Don't do that. I said, she did stuck it in him, didn't she? Ooh, she stuck it in him. But he was still like, you don't want to go upstairs, and see the apartment, because he already told her everything that he did, because she wanted to know how he did it. And he told her everything he did, and it's hers, and escrow and blah blah blah, all that stuff. And She was like, I don't care. I want all my stuff back in here and I want it back in here now. And he's like, don't you even want to go upstairs and see it? No, I don't want to see the apartment. I think deep down she did, but she kept saying she didn't. So he said he would have the stuff brought back tomorrow. And while she's telling him to leave, the next thing he was like, please give me another chance. When you didn't think much of the Rolly, talking about the Rolls Royce, the Rolly, I had to step up my game. She was like, I don't care. I want all my stuff back in here. I want my apartment with my stuff and stuff that I paid for. And I was like, girl, you was wearing all that stuff he bought you already. So stop playing. The outfit is probably one of them. But anyway, while she's telling him to go, the ladies show up and then they're telling him to leave too. Danny's like, don't let her tell you have to tell you again. And Karen said, yep, come on, let's go. And Sabrina was like, I got the door for you. Bye. Deuces. And that was that scene. So they were asking her what's going on. And she told them he bought her a penthouse apartment. And they're like, what? Are you kidding me? Yep. $3 million penthouse apartment. And Danny's the only one like, wait a minute, maybe we need to rethink Gary. If he balling like this, maybe we need to rethink him. And they're like, no, we already thought about him. She's like, but wait, he bought it in her name, so it's hers. It's her name. His name is not on it. You just said something about not taking stuff from people because they could take it back. She said, yeah, but that's when it's in their name. It's in her name, so he can't take it back. And I said, she got a point there, but Danny was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And she was like, let's go up there and see it. Let's move on up to the stairs and see the other apartment. They was asking her what it looked like. She said, I don't know. I haven't been up there. And they were like, you haven't been up there? She's like, no. So, like I said, Danny wanted to go up there. And then Sabrina was like, well, I'm curious too. And they didn't want nobody to go up there. But they went up there while Karen and Andi stayed downstairs. They didn't think it was a good idea for, Andi to go up there at all. How you get in there? They talk about pressing the button. So they get on the elevator and press P, and it goes open straight into the penthouse. I'm telling you. And while in the elevator, Danny gets a call from Logan, but she doesn't answer it. She doesn't answer. The door opens up and their mouths are hanging open. They're running through the living room, through the kitchen, through the bathroom and the bedroom. Then they jumped on the bed in the bedroom. And the bath, I tell you, there was a note on the bedroom set with something that says play me. So he must have left her a tape or video or something like that. But anyway, that bathroom looked huge. It looked bigger than some people's bedrooms and living rooms put together. And I know because I'm a real estate agent in Manhattan. It's crazy. So Karen and Andi are downstairs and they're just talking and they're trying to figure out is there any food or something to drink, and the fridge is empty. And Andi decides to, her and Karen are talking. Karen keep asking her, how you feeling? Are you okay? All that. She's like, you don't have to keep checking on me. I'm okay, or something like that. But she's just, all this stuff it was a lot, and it's going through her head, and I'm sure it's a lot. A lot of us would probably be sitting there going, what the freak? So Andi insists she doesn't want to go up there and see it, and asks Karen. Karen said, you want to spend the night at my house? She said, yes. She said, so they arranged to spend the night at her house, and they know that Andi likes nice things and may not be strong enough to say no if she goes up into that penthouse apartment and sees it. So then Karen, they were doing a small talk and stuff. And then Karen asked her, did she call Fatima? And she said, oh, you were serious about that? She said, yeah, call her now. And she was like, okay, fine, Karen. And she goes in the bedroom. She said, why are you going in there? She said, because I don't know how she's going to react. And I just want some privacy while that goes. And she said, and I don't want to be in the middle of it. And under her breath, Karen goes, you already in the middle of it. I was like, girl, you keep putting her in the middle of it. You just told Fatima that day you don't trust her. And now you're asking Andi to call her and invite her over. You're being messy. I don't care what anybody say. Even though Fatima said, well, maybe she's trying to, work out this co-parenting thing with her friends and stuff. Yeah, but what Fatima got to do it? That would be Zach. Not Fatima. That would be Zach. I'm sorry. That's the way I see it. And the fact that Fatima never told Zach that when Karen called, Karen told her she don't trust her. She never told that part, which she should have, but she didn't. But anyway, when Karen did, when not Karen, when Andi did call Fatima, she was with Zach at that moment, and they had just been talking about Scary Gary, how he's Andy's ex, and Zach is putting things together, saying that that guy Jake works for Gary. So Zach asked her if Gary's legit, and she said yes. But she said, don't be going giving him all his money, all your money. He said, I'm not giving him my money. You know how I roll. I ain't doing that. And that's when Andi calls. And at first Fatima's like, no, I'm not interested in going, because she said Karen wants you to be there. But she said, let me talk to Zach first, and I'll get back to you. She said, but what does Karen want anyway? And Zach heard that, and that's when he turned around like, what the freak is going on? What's with Karen? What's happening? So Fatima keeps talking to Andi, and then she hangs up saying, I'll let you know. And Zach is like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. And she was asking if Karen is a rational person, and she asked, Fatima also asked, his permission. He said, are you asking my permission? And she's like, yes, if you don't want me to go, I won't go. He said, well, do you want to go? Do you want to go? She said, well, if it's something I need to know about you or something like that, then I want to be there and be prepared. So he was like, okay. She said, because I know how to take care of things. I'll take care of stuff. And she's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, okay. So then Zach slipped somehow and said something about Karen coming by the other day. Now that you mention that, Karen came by the other day, and Fatima was like, where? He's like, here. And she just like zoned out. Fatima just zoned out, and Zach was snapping like, Fatima. And she like zoned out for like 20, 30 seconds. He was trying to get her attention. And she said, no, I heard you. She said, I'm just taking it all in. And she said, now that she hearing that Karen was there and there's some official looking lady looking for Zach, she's like, I better go there and find out what's going on. But what was also mentioned is Zach was telling Fatima she might not have to pay next month's rent because this guy Jake got connections, and these guys are going to have his house ready in about 2 weeks. So she's like, okay, that's cool. She was letting him know, but that was all before the phone call and stuff. So I didn't want to forget to tell y'all that part. But back to the girls, not Karen, Danny and Sabrina, they came back downstairs with bottle, what was this, some cognac or something like that, and 2 glasses. And of course, Karen didn't want to drink and stuff. And they was like, well, they didn't really want to stand to have the conversation, but Karen kept saying we could sit on the floor. She didn't want to really do it upstairs in the penthouse, and they kept begging her, you want to go upstairs and see it. You want to go upstairs and see it. And they were working on Andi. Andi was like, oh my God. She's like, no, you got to see this place. Both Sabrina and Danny were like, you got to go upstairs and see this place. You got to go. And she kept trying to say no. And all of a sudden, Karen was the only one saying no. And Andi was like, I guess, how did y'all really get in there? We just hit P. And they was like, so Karen said, fine. And they went up there. She's like, because we really don't want to stand with all that space up there to sit down, but you got to see it. And oh my God, when Andi got up there, she was like I said, tears running out of her eyes. It was beautiful. She was saying how that picture of her, that mural on the wall, was inspired by a famous art, something that she liked, a picture she liked. I don't know who the person was, famous person was, but it was inspired by that. She just couldn't believe it. She was like, this is mine. This is mine. This is mine. They was like, yeah, girl, it's all yours. And they talk about celebrating and everything. And Karen and Andi just fell back on the couch, and you see her red bottom shoes are kicked up in the air, and I mean, the apartment is beautiful. And they talk about celebrating. And Danny said, I'm going to go and see if I can get a can open, a bottle open. She said, I might need a map or something. I might get lost trying to get back over to y'all. That's how big the place was. And Danny was trying to get a room up in there. She want to move in. And so did Sabrina. They just was like, we want to move in here. But they only showed us 1 bedroom. But if she got a penthouse apartment, she got to have at least 3 bedrooms in there. Got to be at least 2 or 3 bedrooms, really. Anyhow, while they in the process of trying to go and celebrate and she's enjoying looking at the apartment, they show the basketball court. They out at the doggone basketball court. The game is over. And I guess all of a sudden, Gary peeped how Zach was looking at Aaron. And he's like, what's up with that? Why you looking at him like that? And Aaron goes, I'm dating his ex. What? Karen? Yo, Karen was your ex and stuff? I was like, here it goes. And all the names coming out. He said, yeah, I just found out today. My girl told me about it. Who's your girl, Fatima? He said, oh, Lord, Fatima's your girl. Oh, no. He's like, oh, my God. And they all saying Atlanta is way too small. Atlanta is way too small. And Zach had said that earlier when he was talking about, when they were talking about Gary and Jake and them and stuff. So he said, and y'all never met each other? And Aaron's trying to say, like, nah, I don't think so. And Zach said, yeah, I met him before. I mean, y'all had a fight before. I named y'all all the times that they saw each other. When that blood that Zach was cleaning up in Karen's floor, that Aaron's ex-wife's brother did, when he shot him or stabbed him or whatever it was. Then it was the fight in the hotel. Then it was at the hospital when Karen was with Zach and Aaron came to check on her. You know, they saw each other so many times, please. So I don't know how Aaron's acting like he don't know her. But so they going back and forth doing digs at each other. And I'm sitting there going, Aaron, you need to stop. Because everything Zach was saying, Karen was all over him. Karen can't get over him. And you know Karen can't get over him. So why even go there with some of your comments? And then Zach said, and Karen didn't leave me. He said, matter of fact, she's very much into me like I was very much into her. I said, oh, no. And Gary was asking about Fatima, and he said, she hates me. And he said, no, she said some good things about your company. He said, okay, believe that. She said, no, she wouldn't say no personal stuff like that. She said, she's not like Karen. I said, oh, he was doing digs on Karen. And then Aaron tried to go, say something. I was like, Aaron, give it up, honey, give it up. Then Zach and Aaron was about to get into with a one-on-one game, and Gary stopped that game so he could talk to him, asking Zach that maybe he could talk to Fatima for him, and put in a good word because things ain't good with him and Andi. And he said, what? How you messed that up? She fine as hell. How you messed up with Andi? And he was like, yeah, I know. It's complicated or whatever. And then he told the story how he was already married and all that stuff. So Zach got a little bit of the information. So he said, if you could talk to Fatima for me, then she could put in a good word with Andi. He said, then I could help you with your business. And he said, how you going to help me? I could do this and help you with the stocks and all that stuff. And he said, oh, okay, I get it. Zach's like, oh, okay, I get it. And then he acted like he was going to hit 5 with him. And he said, get out of here. He said, what you trying to think I'm your pimp or something? He said, I ain't going. And when I leave here, ain't nobody going to be talking about you. And if something's up with my stocks and things, you should just be telling me. If you know something that could harm me, you should be just telling me, not trying to pimp me out to help you. He said, he said, give my ball. I'm getting out of here and stuff. He said, yo, man, no, calm down. And he's like, nah, get out of here. And he walked out. But I forgot to I said, oh, Lord, Zach just like turned off everybody. And they was like, you hear Aaron say, let him go. But I forgot to tell you at the part when Fatima was like, well, let me go home and change my clothes. He said, why? And Zach's like, why you got to change? You look fine. And she said, nah, let me put on my jeans. And y'all know what that means. When you put on some jeans and stuff, you get ready. She said, no, in case some girls try to jump me. So he said, where do you think you going? Ain't nobody going to jump you, girl. You okay. Everything on fine. She said, nah, I don't know. I don't know. Zach was like, oh my God. He said, you still got that gun in your pocketbook? She said, all the time, all the time. But I was laughing. He's like, "What you think you in the pen or something? What you think somebody gonna jump you? What are you talking about?" I said, "I hear you, Fatima." And y'all see when she get off that elevator, she got on clothes like she ready to fight. She is dressed down. I was like, "Come on, Fatima, that's right. Always be prepared." And so it ended with them going in there to celebrate and opening up that bottle of wine, and then she saying they're like, why? Why can't you drink? Because they were teasing her saying, oh, the reverend, she don't cuss no more. She don't drink no more. She don't have sex no more. Because the reverend. They was like, leave her alone. Andy was like, leave her alone, leave her alone. She got it, she got it. And anyway, when she said it that next time, we thought she was going to wait till next week's episode, but she said it this week. They said, why can't you drink? She said, I'm pregnant. And they like, huh? And that's how it ended, y'all. So if I left anything out, let me know. It was a pretty good episode. Next week looked like it might be even better because Fatima arrives. Hey. Anyway, and Zach gets arrested. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Let me know if I left anything out in my review. This your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.